What's up, Shrewdness fans? In case you can't see Pruitt tonight, it's because his whole family's streaming Amazon on Thanksgiving break and
eating up all internet package. I only need $19.99 a month. I ain't paying for Spectrum.
Google Fiber, but I think both kids have a device in each hand. I think so.
Exactly. The family of 4 has 12 devices running right now, probably. So, hey, happy Thanksgiving from the Shrewdness. This is the best time of the year, my personal favorite holiday, Thanksgiving, where everybody gets together, eats food, watches football. You don't have to buy anything for somebody. You just get together, you hang out, you eat, you watch football, you enjoy each other. Hope you guys are with people you love this week and enjoying it. Maybe listen to the Shrewdness on the way to Thanksgiving, traveling somewhere. We'd love to be in your car with you right now. Hopefully that's what's going on. So before we get started, because it's a fun football week, it's a blast. This is a fun football week because if you like football, there's football every day. So you got Thursday, Friday games, you got college on Saturday, and then you got pro again on Sunday. So it's a great football weekend. I want to thank everybody for following us thus far, liking, subscribing. Please do that. Please forward it to somebody who you think would enjoy it. Because we do a lot of this awesome fantasy content, but in the off season, we talk about all kinds of stuff. And hopefully you'll enjoy that too. We talk about sports and all kinds of other things too. So check that out. Check out the website, shrewdness.beam.ly. Check that out. You can see all of the previous shows, access everything there. And check us out on all the socials, YouTube, TikTok, Instagram, Facebook. You can even check us out on X if you want. We're on all of them. And if you're looking for Christmas gifts, it's a great time to get that Shrewdness merch. So check out that Shrewdness swag that's on the website. You can find that at theshrewdness.beam.ly. So check it out there. But that's all the plugging we're doing right now. What we're going to do is dive into the week that was for fantasy and NFL and talk about this smorgasbord of wonderful football that we have in front of us. So without further ado, let's talk recap. Toss it over to the one and only J-Dax.
What up? Thanks, Chiz. This last week was a ton of fun. And again, we had another really fun and entertaining Thursday night game that right off the bat got everybody like roiler. Like, oh my God, what just happened? Buffalo just lost to Houston. What are you talking about? There's no way you saw that coming. But, yeah, I think what we saw Thursday night is Houston Texans, man, they've got a defense. And, yeah, they had to hang on. And, yeah, they screwed my prop by letting Josh Allen get like 180 yards in the last 8 minutes of the game. That being said, I'm not upset about that at all because they still hung on and won. But we're seeing, at least from a fantasy perspective in this game, Josh Allen is not carrying you week after week with 30 to 40-point games like he was last season. And on the same note, we'll get down to it later, but either is Lamar. So two of our stalwarts, like our in-game quarterbacks for fantasy, they are kind of killing you right now. And
a little dicey.
It's certainly not going to ever bench them. It's just
a little dicey.
You just don't have that confidence level. It used to be a confidence level of 101 out of 100. Like, of course I'm going to get 20 plus. But now you're like, you've gotten single digits.
Those floors have dropped this year for both those guys.
Yeah, and I don't know. I mean, Josh Allen, when he doesn't run for 3 touchdowns in the last 8 minutes of a game, he's been kind of human. And I think in this game, what we saw, the number one defense played really well. I mean, James Cook still had a great game. He played well for his fantasy owners. And on the flip side, we were just talking about this. C.J. Stroud is coming back this week for Houston. Is that going to actually help? Because we were talking Davis Mills is actually pretty effective. I mean, everyone always loves the backup when you're winning. And I don't know. So moving forward.
I mean, no turnovers.
Yeah, no turnovers. But for Josh Allen, do you really have any worry meter? Or is it just kind of like he's just not as consistent this year, but his big weeks are so big he's going to carry you? Like, where are you feeling with Josh Allen right now? He's your quarterback, specifically for Guillotine, but for fantasy leagues in general. But Guillotine is one where that bad week can get you chopped. What do you feel with Josh Allen now in guillotine leagues?
Yeah, I feel like if you've made it this far, that you're probably fine because there's others on your team that can carry you. The problem is something like I think week 2 when Josh Allen was the 24th ranked quarterback, right? You're counting on his points
Right.
early in the season because you may not have anybody else on your team. But if you've made it this far with him, he's dynamic enough he can win you the week, right? So you kind of got to go for
Yes.
it at this point in the season. You can't give up on him for sure. Maybe less
No,
confidence
I don't think so
than
either.
what you've had in the past, but he's still, you got to stick with your horse.
You got to roll with him, but I think that the challenge is it's all on his legs. If he doesn't get the
Yeah.
rushing touchdowns, the passing is what's been inconsistent. And like it's the same story that we've had with them for a while. He doesn't
Who's his
have
wideouts?
like a wideout. He doesn't
Yeah.
have a wideout, right?
Yeah.
Like they didn't get better.
Yeah,
And the guy that
Coleman's
they
getting benched, like
yes
healthy scratch 2 weeks in a row for Keon Coleman. I'm like, I don't know what the story is, but someone in the locker room does. I don't know anybody in that locker room.
yes, and that's the problem. Is I think we may have seen the last of Keon Coleman in Buffalo. Like when you bench a guy twice as a healthy scratch in games that matter,
I know.
Like,
I wonder
I
if
don't think he
messed
did
up
something
twice,
that bad.
Because
I
no
think
arrest reports that come
No,
out.
he didn't
come out.
He didn't. I think it's an attitude thing, and the problem is when you get a wide receiver who are known to be a little mercurial, if you will, and diva-esque, and when they start getting crossways of the coach, like
Yeah.
that's all she wrote. Like it's like, what can you? I would not at all be surprised if Keon is somewhere else. We don't see him anymore this year, and he's somewhere else next year.
It could be. I don't know. I'm not. Obviously, you can't. If he's on your roster right now, I don't know why. But Keon Coleman is unplayable because he might not. I don't know what he's doing, but he's not one of our end gamers.
And I don't know if you saw the Bills signed today. They signed Brandon Cooks.
Did they really? Well, that
who was-
tells you all you really need to know.
Asked
Yeah.
for his release from New Orleans because he was not getting used down there. So obviously they're looking for help.
Yeah.
So I think
You could do worse than that. So
Yeah.
for Josh Allen owners out there, here's the good news. You've got Pittsburgh coming up. Then you've got Cincinnati coming up. I mean, that's some free chicken
everybody
right there.
gets right.
Yeah, just put your 50 points on the board and give yourself a little wiggle room. Maybe only 40 that week for him. But he's going to trounce that team, especially if Joe Burrow's back. That's going to be a high-scoring affair.
That's
So
true.
that'll be
Yeah.
kind of a fun game. All right. So as for that game, I want to talk about another fun one because last week we had to suffer talking about it. But the Colts, the number one team in the AFC South, came into Arrowhead and left with an L. 23-20 in overtime. And Kansas City had to earn this stupid thing.
Yes,
Boy,
they
they
did.
were down, and they needed everything to get down 11 points in the fourth quarter. They go down, score, get the 2-point conversion, go down again, and kind of hope they would have scored before the end of the game. I think we all did, but they got the field goal, and then overtime stuffed them and then took it to the house for the field goal. So that was what I needed to see for Kansas City. And last week, well, in many, many weeks, because we haven't won a close game this entire season, which is
Right.
horrible. But this week, the defense actually made the plays when they needed to make them. We kept Jonathan Taylor in check, made Daniel Jones beat us, which he couldn't. And I thought that was pretty good for Kansas City out there. Gents, what do you take from this game? Chiz, how about take on what you saw?
Well, I agree. It was fun to see football could be fun again. So that was fun. But I will say the thing that I was most impressed with, and I think the thing that Kansas City has had trouble with, is running the ball. And they had a 100-yard rusher, and I don't remember the last time they had a 100-yard rusher. I really
First
don't.
one
It's
this
been a
season.
long time.
Yeah.
And it was like 87-year-old Kareem Hunt, who they gave the ball to 30 times
Yeah.
in a game, which like typically the Chiefs' biggest problems have come from the fact that they abandon the run real quick and everything
Yeah.
becomes Patty, carry us,
Yep.
Patty, please carry us.
Yeah, 4
And the
carries, 12
defense
yards.
is-
You're done. Let's go to Patty now.
Yeah, and then it becomes like, oh no, like the defenses can hone in on that, and that's a problem. So they got down and they didn't give up on the run, and hopefully they learned from that. Now, I'm a little concerned. I would be concerned normally that Kareem Hunt at 87 years old had 30 carries. For the Dallas game. However, they must have known that Pacheco was going to be ready, and he is for Thursday. So I would imagine a heavy dose of Pacheco in this next game. They also
Dameon Pierce. They signed
Dameon Pierce, which is a really interesting signing.
Yep, from Houston.
I think that tells a couple things. One, it tells you that they're not at all happy with Elijah Mitchell, who they signed. I think that was a wasted signing. He hasn't found the field yet. And two, that I think you're going to see him. I think Dameon Pierce will be a guy, because they brought up Clyde Edwards-Helaire this week. Man, ain't nothing in that tank, that's for sure. I love Clyde, and he's a good dude, and I want to stick with him.
Brokeback Mountain, though. I just can't quit you, Clyde. I just can't quit you. Like, I wish we would quit Clyde, because he never, ever has been what we thought he'd be coming out of LSU with that, 31st pick, 32nd pick, whatever the heck he was.
31st pick.
Towards the end of the first round. Guy, he's never been anything.
He had a decent rookie year, and then that was it.
Yeah. What do you think for Colts versus the Chiefs game?
So the defense showed up in the fourth quarter, and I was like, where have these guys been all game? And then I thought, it's because they're blitzing. Like, Spags, for whatever reason, kind of held back the first three quarters. And then midway through the third quarter on through the fourth, it was like, all right, now I'm going to bring the pressure. Now I'm going to force Daniel Jones to beat us. And it became pretty clear that he couldn't. And they had like 4 3-and-outs in a row or something. I was like, I think a lot of it was maybe their last few games. A lot of it's been too soft on the blitzing front. And Spags finally turned up the heat a little bit and got it back to his normal aggressive self. So I think that was a big turning point for me.
Yeah, sure. I agree. And the Chiefs defense held Jonathan Taylor to 58 yards rushing. And Jonathan Taylor has been, before this game, people were saying he could be the MVP at running back, which would be crazy. But, the fact that they did that off a bye week, so a fresh Jonathan Taylor, shows that the run defense is there. And if they can figure out how to apply some pressure to the pass, like you're saying, Prue, they could be back. We're all Chiefs homers, and our listeners know that. But I think they're a playoff team still, and I think that if they figure some stuff out, they could be a scary playoff team. I think what we saw from Indianapolis is they're flawed, and I think everybody knew they were flawed a little bit, but maybe not as flawed as we thought.
Yeah, I mean, they still went to Arrowhead and went to overtime, and they kind of gave the game away. They're a third down away from winning, and thankfully for Chiefs owners and Chiefs fans out there, it was great. But, all right, so I think Chiefs looking good going forward. We'll see how this Dallas game goes on Thanksgiving. It's going to be a huge game. Both teams coming off overtime, big wins against conference opponents if they needed.
Huge win for Dallas.
Yep, so Dallas coming off a 24-21 OT win. In Philly, 21-0, coughed up 24 straight.
Yeah.
It was 21 nuts, and I think what you saw in this game, I heard it described as, they say that the football is a business, right? And this is these guys' jobs. And basically what happened was Dallas was like the guy that got to work a little late, decided he was going to procrastinate, not really do much till he looked up at the scoreboard and was like, "Oh my god!" So he went, "Nothing. I got to do this." And then Philly was the guy that got there at 7 a.m. and was cranking away at his work, and he got up and then he was like, "That's about it for the day."
Yeah, he had a big lunch, had a lot of turkey. I'm just going to lay down for a second and see what happens. Surely nothing will go wrong if I lay down at halftime in a football game on Thanksgiving. And they passed out. That was it, man. They woke up and then they fell off the rocker. And they lost 24-21. But here's what I took out of the game is we've been mocking and shredding Dallas's defense all season.
Yeah.
I guess if you get 6 new starters, you can be quite a bit better, like
Yeah.
substantially so. I think Dallas defense went, they're not that bad.
Right?
Maybe they are okay. But
They
is it a mirage?
they only
2
gave up
weeks in a row?
60.
Yeah.
They only gave up 63 yards rushing
Yeah.
to Philly.
And that was after giving 6 yards up to Ashton Genty, who had 100 yards total offense against Cleveland.
Yeah.
So I don't know, man. Maybe Dallas is better than we think. I'm going to give them some credit until they lose credibility again. But where are you guys on Dallas Philly? Can Dallas actually make a run at Philly in this division? Or is it just a 2-week mirage beating the Raiders and then beating a sleeping Philly in the second half?
Yeah, I'm not quite sold on Dallas. They did put up a half in 21 seconds. That was to be commended, right? They were down 21 nothing until 21 seconds left in the first half. They finally got a touchdown right at the end of the first half, and I think they got the ball first in the second half. So anyway, they didn't look great the first half. They got down big early and then clawed their way back. So there's a lot to be said about clawing your way back against a really good Philadelphia team. I want to see it consistently. We'll see how they play the Chiefs this week.
Yep.
I hope they're not
I
back.
think it's going to be a big game.
Here's what I'll say about them. I'm not sold on them either, but I am sold on the rest of their schedule. So they have the Chiefs. That's a tough game. They're an underdog at home in that game. After that, though, they have the Lions, tough game.
Yep.
But then Vikings, Chargers, Commanders, Giants.
That's a pretty cush schedule going down the stretch.
That's a pretty nice Final Four. If you're going to pick who you got to play, Vikings, Chargers, Commanders, Giants.
Yeah.
That should be 4 wins.
There's no freebies.
Should be 4 wins, though.
If you got to play good games, and the defense
That's
has to
right.
show up, and the offense has to show up. Because Jaden Daniels is going to be back. It seems like he's practicing. So by the time 3 weeks from now,
that's true.
He's hard to beat.
That could change things.
And then Minnesota. I mean, the thing is, J.J. McCarthy's out. So I don't know who they're going to play now because Carson Wentz is also out. So now I think we're starting the Gophers quarterback from last season who wasn't even good in the Big Ten, Max Brosler. I don't even know.
Speaking of which, guys, I'll be out of town the next few weeks. I'm starting for Minnesota.
They gave me a call. I said, you know what? Why not? I got nothing better going on.
Brett's like, yeah, sure. Well, speaking of, I was going to wait till later, but I feel like it's only appropriate now to talk about Mr. J.J. McCarthy because, Dex, I'm not going to say I told you so on J.J. McCarthy. I'm not.
I'm just
going to do a little comparison. I'm just going to do a little comparison. So, a guy that I'm going to compare him to is a similar first-round draft pick, a guy named Jamarcus Russell. Remember Jamarcus Russell?
Stop it.
So Jamarcus Russell was a number 1 overall pick by the Los Angeles Raiders at the time, I think. Oakland Raiders, I think, at the time. In their first 6 career games. Let's do a little comparison, okay? Jamarcus Russell versus J.J. McCarthy.
I don't like this stupid thing.
So let's look at touchdowns. Okay.
Yes, let's.
Well, no, here's good. J.J. McCarthy has given more touchdowns in his first 6 games. He has 6, and Jamarcus only had 5. Okay?
I can't believe Jamarcus had 5.
He had 5. That's right. Now let's look at interceptions.
Yeah. Like
JJ
9 or 10 or something.
JJ has 10. Jamarcus had 3. Completion percentage.
Yeah.
Jamarcus 54.5. JJ 54.1. Yards. Jamarcus 1,051. JJ 929.
He's running the ball. We got Jordan Mason that's giving up that 200 yards a season. He's doing
Sacks allowed. Jamarcus got sacked a whopping 16 times in his first 6 starts.
That's a lot.
Which looks pretty good compared to JJ's 20 in his first 6 starts.
What?
He's averaging 3 sacks a game in his first 6 starts. And the last thing I want to pass out, passer rating. Jamarcus,
both
not
good.
very good, 76.9. But, man, you would think you're getting a steal if you compared him to J.J. McCarthy's passer rating for his first 6 games, 57.9. J.J. McCarthy in his first 6 games is worse than Jamarcus Russell.
All right. You done? You done now? All right. Counterpoint. Let's look at someone else's first 6 starts. Josh Allen.
Okay.
Josh Allen
Okay.
of the MVP ilk.
Yes.
Started
yes.
2 and 3 with only 758 passing yards, which is more or less than J.J. McCarthy.
That's more.
No
less.
It's friggin' less. All right. So how many
less.
touchdowns does JJ have? Let's go.
6.
You got it.
He's got
All right.
6.
Josh Allen 2. All right. That's
How many
pretty
rushing
good.
did he have?
Hey. Stay on point. Stay on
All right.
All right. So a 2 to 5 touchdown interception. 6 to 10. Not
6
much better.
to 10. All right.
And they have
It's better.
strikingly
It's better.
similar records.
Yeah.
Allen
Passer
was
rating?
a little more accurate, but not by much. So the passer rating
I have a
was
question.
essentially equal, 62.5 to 61.7. And
I'll give you that.
Josh Allen developed when he stopped throwing the ball to the other team and started throwing to his
Now-
own team and not airmailing it and working on his mechanics.
I will ask this one question though. When Josh Allen was throwing to Justin Jefferson during that time period,
And Jordan Madison and T.J. Hawkinson. I'm sure they had similar people he was throwing to.
right. I'm sorry. I found these stats today, and I was like, I just want to share. It's the time of the year you're into giving. I wanted to give you the information so that you had it as a Vikings
what you
fan.
wanted to do. Give me a lump of coal and stuff that in my
is
stocking
so
and try to
thankful.
call it a present.
This is so thankful for J.J. McCarthy this week.
Well, JJ's not playing this week, so there's that. Which is probably why it's a 10.5-point spread.
Is he hurt again? Is he hurt?
Well, hey, he's
Again?
got to work on some things. But, yeah, I think he is.
What does the depth chart look like this year? I'm going to look up the Vikings depth
I
chart.
told you it's Max Brosler.
That's right.
I don't know. Maybe JJ is playing. He's got a concussion, so as long as he gets out of concussion protocol, we're all right.
Okay.
I don't
I don't think that's happening. I'm going to be honest. Max Brosner.
No, it's not good.
Max Brosner, and there isn't anybody listed after him, so
Nope.
that's a problem.
No, Pruitt is next up.
Yeah, somebody named Ryan Pruitt just signed to the practice squad today. So.
Wait. They do have a guy named John Wolford on the practice squad who
You just
went
made
to,
that name up.
He's
he's
30.
Bridgerton casting or something.
He's 30.
Sean
He's
Wolford.
30, and I've never heard of him. He's 30. And,
He's experienced, Chisholm. He's experienced.
and he's been
Come on
with,
now.
in his 5 years in the NFL, he's been with the Jets, Rams, Buccaneers, Panthers, Jaguars.
These are
and
elite
now-
programs. All right, we have spun off the rails.
I know where I've heard of him.
Let's.
He was a former coworker of Kurt Warner's at the grocery store before he became.
That's right. He was
Northern
bagging
Iowa.
groceries.
He's doing some great stuff.
He's over
Northern
on
Iowa.
aisle 6.
All right. Well, I love
Packing
Arena League
cans.
too. He probably was Arena League actually. All right. Let's go on some other
man.
games. We're not going to go into too in depth. New England beating Cincinnati 26-20. This is the last game for Flacco because Joe Burrow's back, and we're going to see what that looks like and see if he's actually mobile on that foot, which sounded like it was kind of disconnected off his foot. Like I don't know what's
Yeah.
That sounded like a bad one. So we'll see what that looks like. But Drake May again does enough to win, and it wasn't really his best game, but I guess especially against a bad defense. But he did enough. So good job, New England winning
He
again.
did.
They are going to lock down that 1 seed in the AFC and probably get the bye because, as we highlighted, their upcoming schedule is the hottest of hot garbage that you could even pretend. Like it's a dreamboat schedule. If you're like, oh, I just need to make the playoffs. Like, oh, Jeebus, I might get the 1 seed out of this thing. And their only other hard game is another game at Buffalo. And well, it's a home game actually against Buffalo. So.
This is who the Patriots have played this year: Raiders, Dolphins, Steelers, Panthers, Bills, Saints, Titans, Browns, Falcons, Buccaneers, Jets, Bengals, Giants, and then they have Bills, Ravens, Jets, Dolphins left. It is statistically the easiest schedule in the NFL, and maybe the easiest schedule I've ever seen in my life.
Yeah.
They have like 3 games.
Soft. It is the softest. It is
3
Charmin
games.
soft, baby. I mean,
But to be fair to them, they've won the games, and you can have a Charmin schedule and lose games. So they didn't do that.
They started 1-2 against Vegas, and what was the third one?
Pittsburgh.
Vegas, the Dolphins, and Steelers.
That's right. So they lost to Pittsburgh. They lost to Vegas. They squeaked by the other two. They were almost 0-3. But anyway, it's going to be interesting to see how that plays out. Another game that is...
the fun fact we talked about in the Patreon, Dex, is they're probably going to be the 1 seed. They're probably going to have the bye. And right now, they have the 9th best odds to win the Super Bowl, according to Vegas. So they know they're going to get a bye, and they're saying... We still think they're the 9th best chance of winning the Super Bowl.
Vegas knows. They know.
I mean, seriously, they'll be hosting a game, and that's all fine and well. But if Buffalo comes into town, or Baltimore, or the Colts, or the Chiefs, Denver, I mean, I don't know who you feel great.
I don't know who they'd be favored against in the AFC playoffs.
If the
Chargers, maybe?
Jacksonville or Houston, they'd probably be favored. Denver and the Chargers, they'd probably be favored.
Yeah.
And that's a maybe. That'd probably be like a 1.5 favored.
Yeah.
I mean, they wouldn't even get the full 3.
Right.
But other than that, I mean, I think you're right. I don't know who the hell they'd be favored against. So that's kind of interesting that a 1 seed with a bye is going to be hosting week 2 games as an underdog at home.
And maybe be an underdog.
That would be awesome.
Most likely.
Yeah.
Most likely.
Anything can happen. All right. An interesting game, Pittsburgh, Chicago. Ben Johnson, man. Good job, Ben Johnson, head coach of the Chicago Bears. You've made this team win close games, look competitive. And you're winning. You're leading the division. I don't know. I'm shocked. I didn't think he could do it this fast. But the Bears to the top, the NFC North, 8-3, and frankly, they look like
Caleb Williams looks like a pretty good quarterback right now.
He does. Dress and all, he is playing some pretty good football. He's not throwing the ball to the other team. He's not fumble-rooskieing it. They have a running game, so it really does look a little bit like kind of the systems that Ben Johnson's been running the last few years. But he's given a lot to Monangai. So from fantasy perspective, Monangai, I feel way more comfortable with him than I do with DeAndre Swift. And he's getting the carries, especially as it gets colder, and we start getting those black and blue games up in the snow at Soldier Field. I mean, who do you really want? I don't know. Monangai looks pretty good. So Chicago.
The only strange thing out of Chicago, Dex, that as we look into that a little bit, I agree. I think Ben Johnson's done great. I think Caleb Williams is much improved, and I bagged on him like crazy.
Oh yeah. We all did.
It's super weird to me that in all of this, that Roma Dunze is still not a factor. So I don't know if Roma Dunze is the problem or what's going on. But a guy that's that talented, and I do think Roma Dunze is talented.
Yeah.
It just doesn't work out.
In this game, 3 for 53, and as we've talked about in previous episodes, especially the last few. Beginning of the season, he was an in-game player for Guillotine. He was a solid contributor just for standard fantasy leagues. Now he's unplayable. Like, if you're starting him, you've got injuries and bye weeks. That's the only way Odunze is getting to your lineup anymore, especially given this late, because you should have been picking up far better players than Roma Odunze for right now.
Yeah.
DJ Moore, I guess if you're a DJ Moore owner, good for him. He finally looked good this week. I mean, I had to start him in one of my leagues.
Yeah.
Thank goodness he had 2 touchdowns. 5 catch, I think 67 yards, something like that. It was a good week. And the other thing for Chicago is we talked about him beginning in our rookie preview. We like him as a player. The 10th overall pick, Colston Loveland, is starting to look pretty
Yeah.
darn good. So Colston Loveland is getting more touches, more plays, more routes. It's even with Cole Kmet if he's not taking the lead now. And so I think you can start feeling probably pretty comfortable if you need a flex spot, or if one of your tight ends got hurt and you're just kind of struggle busting right now. Colston Loveland is not the worst. He's not, 3 straight weeks of double-digit points, and that's not horrible. So I think you got in the end zone, and they're targeting him in the end zone too, so he's getting those looks. Ben Johnson starting to trust him. Caleb Williams starting to trust him. And the Bears as a whole starting to use him.
In the last 7 weeks, Rome Odunze has 1 touchdown. In the last 7 weeks, Colston Loveland has 3.
Yep.
So you could see how that shifted pretty significantly in terms of who they're looking for.
Absolutely.
And I agree. Like I would feel more comfortable with, I can't believe I'm going to say this, but I'd feel more comfortable with Colston Loveland in my starting lineup than Rome Odunze right now.
Yep. I think so too. Prue, where are you at on that? Do you like Colston Loveland going forward? Or do you still believe in Odunze and think we're bagging on him too much?
No, it is really sketchy. He was a very solid contributor those first 4 weeks going into their, they had an early bye.
Yeah.
Right. And,
Yep.
and he was averaging, 16 points a week. And then he had a 32-point performance in week 2. Right. And then after the bye, he's had.
Yeah, that was his best week.
Yep.
Yeah. And then after the bye, he's had 5 games under 10 points in fantasy points. And
that's bad.
Chicago's been putting up.
That's Kamara level right there.
Yeah. And Chicago's been putting up a lot of points, 47, 24.
They have.
Right.
19 and then 31. He's just not getting the ball.
Yep.
And that's supposed to be your one receiver. That's the hardest part about it.
Well, so to be fair,
like
we did talk earlier this season, kind of before the season kicked off, that he had a lot of weapons on the team. Right? DJ Moore's an established wide receiver. We knew about Loveland, that he was going to be a top tight end prospect. Cole Kmet's been around for a while. So Odunze is joined by others. Luther Burden too, right?
Burden is now getting some targets, yeah.
But no one's really blowing up past like the 60 yards a game thing, though. That's what's weird about Chicago.
So I don't know. Part of it's an anomaly, and then there's probably something to it. Maybe he's more comfortable with Loveland's development. Maybe Ben Johnson's not ready to release Caleb Williams quite fully to throw the ball down the field and all that. Maybe he's more comfortable with the shorter and intermediate routes or something.
Probably makes sense. I feel like Ben Johnson knows what happens when he does. I feel like it's when Caleb Williams gets in troubles when he starts trying to make plays instead of taking what's in front of him. I feel like Ben Johnson's doing a good job of calling an offense that take what's there, man. We'll be just fine. We have playmakers, and they're going to get it, and we can run the ball.
I will say, though, guillotine, I don't like any of the Bears. As much as they're scoring, I don't like any of the Bears if I'm in a guillotine league and I'm still alive. The floors are way too low on all these guys, and they don't have high enough ceilings. So, I would probably steer clear of the Bears, even though they have a very high-scoring offense right now.
Yeah, that's all of them. That's Caleb Williams all the way down. I agree. They're kind of nerve-wracking if you're going to be starting them. You're like, I hope this works out. All right, let's talk about another team that's supposed to be pretty dang good. And we talked about on our Patreon, just doesn't seem to beat anybody good. So Detroit hangs on against the Giants with Jameis Winston at Detroit, 34-27, with a game where Jahmyr Gibbs breaks the bank with, 55 points, fantasy points, 219 yards rushing, 2 touchdowns, 11 catches, 45 yards, and another touchdown. And you have to hang on against the Giants with Tyrone Tracy and Jameis Winston? That's kind of, if I'm a Detroit fan, I'm like, good Lord, what is happening? That should have been like a 20-point spread, not hanging on and scoring at the end with the Jahmyr Gibbs super play. What do you think about Detroit moving forward? Do they make you nervous, or are they like, yeah, they're just fine. They're going to get to the NFC Championship game, no problem?
I wouldn't say it that way. They're still a very good team, I think. They have a lot of talent. Gibbs is obviously one of the best running backs in the league. One of the best players in the league, period, I guess. So they can still put up a ton of points. Their defense, serviceable. They do a decent job.
Yeah.
They're going to win a lot of games, but they look a little more flawed than they have in the last couple of years. They look beatable now.
It really is. And sometimes the offense doesn't work, which is amazing to me. And the defense has a lot of talent. And they actually have most of their starters back. Last year, they just got decimated. I think,
Yeah.
didn't they have 8 out of 11 starters out by the time they limped into the
Yeah.
playoffs?
At one
This
point,
year, they're
yeah,
kind
they
of
did.
back. And Aiden Hutchinson is having an all-pro season. Anzone, or whatever that his name is, the blonde Fabio, he's
Yeah.
playing really well. They seem to have a lot of good players, but as a unit, they're giving up a lot of big plays at the wrong time. And I don't know what's up with that. It's kind of strange, but I guess when you lose your defensive coordinator that's been there for years, and maybe that's a bigger deal than I give it credit for. But the defense has talent, but they're not putting it together. Have you seen that the same way? Or
Yeah, I don't think I have him as my. I can't believe it, but I have him as my fifth best NFC team right now.
fifth?
So
Huh?
I would put the Rams, the Eagles,
Yep, absolutely.
and this is the controversial one, but I would put Green Bay ahead of them too. So you could argue, maybe one of them, maybe flip flopping those, but I don't think they have a clear path to the NFC championship
No.
game even.
Nope, I don't think
Probably
so.
right, and especially where they're not good. They're not even leading their division, so they're going to be starting on the road, which is always a tough place to start the playoffs, unless you're Eli Manning and the Giants and you start
Right.
with the worst seed and take it to the house both years. You start up with the 6th seed, but other than that, yeah, it does. I'd be a little wary if I'm Detroit. I mean, from a fantasy perspective, though, Jahmyr Gibbs, good lord, he's killing it. Amon-Ra St. Brown, killing it. But past that, and this is where I'm kind of getting to for Guillotine, we were just talking about the Bears kind of make you nervous. Jameson Williams has dropped to 0.
Ooh.
And David Montgomery wasn't much better. He wasn't 0, but he's not getting in the end zone. He's definitely – last year it seemed like more of like if you started Montgomery and Gibbs, they both were giving you like 15 to 20. And this year, it is not that. As a David Montgomery owner in a couple different leagues where I thought I could just punch in and get my touchdown a week,
Yeah.
he is not doing that this year. And frankly, none of the other guys are too. Jared Goff's not as consistent as he was. It's kind of Amon-Ra and Gibbs. Is there anyone else on the Detroit Lions that you trust as far as you can throw them on a week-to-week basis? I mean, maybe Laporta. I mean, do you give Laporta some credit for tight end, even though –
One name you
don't
did
know.
not mention was Ben Johnson.
yeah?
Do you think that's had an effect?
Yeah.
I mean, they're still scoring points, but yeah, I think you're right. Losing both coordinators has had a
Yeah.
demonstrative effect on what they are
Yeah.
looking at. Yeah,
I
you're
agree.
right, yeah, because one team is looking better, the Bears. One team is looking
Yeah,
worse.
right. Yeah, we talked about it before the season that he would have some sort of effect, and we were hoping that they would still run basically the same offense, which I think they probably are.
Yep.
But like you said, it's unbalanced now between Gibbs and Montgomery, and unbalanced between Amon-Ra and
Yeah,
everybody
you're right.
else. So they've
You're right.
they've taken a step backwards there. Chicago's taken a step forward. I gotta believe it's the Ben Johnson effect, right? And now Dan Campbell's calling
I
the
think
plays,
that's
and
a big deal.
It's not working out as well.
Your targets to show how one-dimensional they become in passing. Amon-Ra St. Brown has had 107 targets. The next highest is Jahmyr Gibbs at
Wow.
55.
Oh my gosh!
So
really? That's a
He's-
huge
he
drop
is
off.
Almost half. And then the next receiver is Jameson Williams at 51, Sam Laporta at 49. So it is really
Wow.
the Amon-Ra St. Brown show and the Jahmyr Gibbs show, because if he's not handing it to him, he's throwing it to him.
Yeah,
I'm
So
not
those are
too
the only two guys I trust on that
Yeah.
team.
I'm not too insulted by Amon-Ra having that many targets. I'm just amazed
Right.
that number 2 is half that.
Yeah.
That's
And it's a
shocking.
running back.
Yeah, it's a running back who is
Well,
a split
so-
back with Montgomery.
Right.
So basically 100 and then
It's
50,
crazy.
50, 50, right? So Amon-Ra is getting 40% of the target share,
Yeah.
and that's what Garrett Wilson
Yeah.
was
Yeah.
getting for the Jets until they figured out that he was getting 40% of the target
Yes,
share,
you're right.
and they started shutting that down. So not too shocking that they're kind of figuring the Detroit offense out, and it's sputtering a
Right.
bit.
That's great. And you just think, so that's probably including last week, and Jahmyr Gibbs had 11 catches last week. So he was only
Right.
40. Actually, I got more catches than Amon-Ra. What are you talking about? All you got to do is be open and get 4 yards a catch. It's easy.
Yeah, the next team might want to consider a linebacker covering Gibbs in the flat.
That's
That may be, maybe the first order of business.
So the next game I want to talk to is kind of an interesting one. So Seattle at Tennessee. Seattle kind of had to hang on. They got up early, and then it was kind of a laugher. And everybody's kind of going to the bus. It's kind of like they had the same thing Philly did. They had a bunch of turkey at lunch and then took a nap on the recliner. And all of a sudden, like, oh, my God, what the hell happened? Tennessee, what are you doing in my rearview mirror? And it was like objects in the mirror are closer than they appear. It was. Tennessee was storming back behind Shamar DK, and I don't even know who else. Someone else had to have been doing something.
Well,
It must
Cam
be
Ward
Cam
had a-
Ward.
Yeah, he
Cam Ward.
He did.
Yeah, he
But
did.
The Tennessee is fighting kind of harder than we think they should if they want to keep their draft stock.
They should
But
be
I love
dead,
their
right?
Professionals, and I love their fighting hard. In
I do
Tennessee,
too.
I think this is going to look good for them moving forward. So Nashville next season, what they're doing now could start paying dividends if they get another influx of talent. It could be pretty good. But Seattle still, they do what they need to do to win. They got up early. Jackson Smith and Jigba, my goodness. I mean, I think he should be talked about more for Offensive Player of the Year.
Me too.
I think he may well win the Triple Crown like Jamar Chase did last year. And every single week you can count on him. I think he is by far the number one wide receiver to count on a week-to-week basis in fantasy. And he did it again this week. So 8 for 169 and 2 more touchdowns. And kind of what you're talking about, Pruitt, even though Amon-Ra is getting that many targets, they still can't do anything about it. Jackson Smith and Jigma, who the heck is opposite of him? I mean, just a bunch of nothing burgers over there.
Right?
And you
Cooper
could just
Kupp
he's just
and-
beating coverages left and right. Yeah,
Cooper Kupp on his last tire right now.
it is. With 2 flat tires, he's in a golf cart.
Yeah.
And Torrey,
And Smith and
Torrey
Jigba
Horton.
just keeps getting open. Yeah, but he's been kind of
Right.
dick too. It's just a
Yeah.
bunch of nobodies.
No,
It's
yeah,
Yeah.
I'm agreeing
Arroyo
with you.
being tight end.
Hey, what do you
Barner,
mean, AJ
tight-
Barner?
AJ Barnyard Barner.
That's right.
Yeah, I mean, you take away those 2 studs, and then it's just, yeah. I mean, you kind of know they got a double Barner to get Smith and Jigba open, but it's kind of crazy how he's continuing just week after week to be this good when you know defensive coordinators are scheming against him. But hey, good for him. I love that.
Yeah.
One more game I want to talk about. I mean, there's more that's out there, but I think the interesting ones is Cleveland and Las Vegas. Shedeur Sanders, just because we got to talk Shedeur. He
Well, yeah.
is the first Cleveland
Really?
quarterback in his first start to win a game. In how long? I can't remember the stat, but it was forever.
It's like the 90s.
Yeah,
Oh my
it was a
gosh.
very,
Like,
very long time. Like Tim
yeah.
Couch might have been the last one. I don't even know. It was something. Might have been older.
I think it
than
was Bailey Zappi, if I remember correctly.
that legend.
Bailey Zappi was the guy who won on his first start. But I mean, hey, I have been a guy who I think Shedeur Sanders is an interesting story because he's one of these guys that everybody knew everything was given to Shedeur Sanders. Okay,
Oh.
let's just call a spade a spade.
Yeah.
His dad coached him. He got the start. It's not that he didn't have talent. He's got talent, but everything was given to him. So when everything is
Yeah.
given to you, people generally don't want to cheer for you. So
Yeah.
I think everyone's kind of waiting for this downfall to happen. And he's not a great quarterback, but I got to give him some credit. 11 for 20, 209 yards, touchdown, interception. Not bad for
Better than
a
J.J.
start,
McCarthy.
right? I mean,
Ouch! It hurts to say.
so
it.
you
Pretty
kind of
similar
gotta
completion
give him a
percentage.
little props, and
Yeah.
right? You kind of got to give him a little bit of props, and you kind of got to say, well, good for him. Everybody's hating on him. He comes out, he delivers,
Yep.
is in that kind of a game. So I'm interested.
I am too.
I'm interested. Let's watch.
Let's
you
see
know?
what happens. I mean, that was against the Raiders, who have now
True,
fired their
true.
offensive coordinator. So Chip Kelly has been fired because
Yep.
that's kind of mean, though. I mean, you got fired going against Cleveland. I mean, that's a really good defense.
Right.
But you really, like, what are you doing? You have talent back there, but Geno's, I don't know what happened to Geno Smith. He just is, from last year to this year, the cliff has shown up, and he has fallen off said cliff. It's not even fun to watch him play. He just terrible.
Yeah.
You have Bowers and Genty, and here's the good news for Genty owners out there for fantasy. So Guillotine, he is getting so many catches the last couple of weeks. That was not there all season.
8 catches this week.
Yeah, I mean, that's Jahmyr Gibbs like. But
Yeah.
again, he only had 100
Kamara?
total yards, but exactly. But these big
Right.
catches, because if you can't run through a line that can't block, this is the only way to do it. And it's sort of what the San Francisco 49ers are doing, because CMC is awesome. He is not a 3.4 yard per carry back. And they're having to get him involved by doing the exact same thing. So
That's right.
sometimes it's just the only way to do it. It's an extension of your run game, doing the screen passes and the flat passes, and they're not sexy. But when you only need 5 to 7 yards to pop, it sounds good. Move the
That's right.
chains. Move the chains. So I think that's good for Genty owners out there that we're seeing this. But I throw that out because Chip Kelly just got fired. So I don't know what we're going to do, but I feel like the new guy's going to have to do the same thing, because you can't run up the middle of Genty behind that line because he gets hit 2 yards in the backfield. Like, he has to run fast to get the handoff before the defense does. And that's scary.
He really
oh, my
does.
God, I got to get there first. How in the hell? I thought 5 guys blocking. This is terrible.
It feels a little bit like when you used to play Super Tecmo Bowl and the guys would blitz,
The
and
Bill
you were like,
Pickle
ah!
block, where you have Bill Pickle and you knock the guy off, and the guy just runs through to block the field goals. That's what the Raiders line looks like against everybody. You just
That's right.
and then everybody storms in. It is unbelievable how this works.
I mean, Geno's taking a lot of sacks, and it's like 3 guys at once, right? It's never one offensive line getting beat. It's 3 or 4 of them getting beat on every play. So I feel bad for the guy. But
Yeah, it is just brutal. It's no fun.
He
Maybe
got
that's why
sacked
Geno's so
10 times
worse.
in that game.
Ouch.
10 times for 77 negative yards.
Oh my gosh.
honestly, I can see why the offensive coordinator got fired after that. Right? If you're getting sacked that many times, it's time to do something different.
Call better
It's time
plays.
Make an
stop.
adjustment.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Give them
right?
A 7-step drop,
Like,
right? Throw
I would
some
do
wide receiver
Bowers
screens.
and like
yeah.
an extra lineman, like
Totally.
3 tight ends, and
Right.
I mean, let's just go.
Yeah, you got 2 good tight ends.
Yep.
Put Mayer and
But stick him on the line and let him chip somebody on the way out.
totally.
It shouldn't be this hard to give some type of
Right.
protection.
No.
They have plays and packages for this. There's history. There's tape.
These are
There's ways to do
NFL
it.
linemen.
The linemen
Like,
are
figure it out.
professionals.
Yeah. Allegedly they are. All right, one other game. I forgot about this one just because they are going for a division title. Jacksonville, I mean, they're not in the lead yet because they're right behind Indy. But at Arizona, they had to win in overtime against a team that is just terrible. That Arizona team is not good. Jacoby Brissett's made them better. But Jacksonville, come on,
he
man.
has.
You're supposed to be a playoff contender. You're supposed to be trying to win your division, and you're squeaking by in overtime at Arizona against their 4th and 5th string running backs, their backup quarterback.
Yeah.
They don't have Harrison, and it's just McBride. Just cover him. And they gave up 10 catches to Michael Wilson after getting 15 last week. It's not like, oh, I didn't see that coming. You should. They just did it. The tape you just watched was him getting the ball all the time. Figure it out, man. And so it's kind of crazy how Jacksonville, they won. I guess I'll give them the credit that they won. They just didn't look very good doing it.
The thing that's scariest to me about Jacksonville is how loose Trevor Lawrence is with the ball.
Oh, man. Yeah.
He is like, this is a game that all you got to do is go in there and not turn it over. They turned the ball over 4 times.
Yeah.
3 interceptions by Trevor Lawrence. He threw 3 touchdowns, but he threw 3 interceptions. And this is one of those games where all you got to do is not crap yourself. Just go in and like run
Hand the ball
run the
off.
standard plays. Don't take any
Yep.
risks. You're better than them. You're going to win, but he still has this tendency, and he's too experienced in the NFL to have this.
Yeah.
And it's the scary thing about Lawrence. Everybody knows he's got a lot of talent. He came out of college. He's very
Can't
highly
miss number
recruited.
1 out of Clemson. He's
like,
missing a little.
and he's got all the skill set, but like at some point as an NFL quarterback, you got to realize, don't throw that. And
Yeah.
he's still not realizing that in a big game and a big moment, and that's scary to me if I'm a Jacksonville fan.
Yep. No, I agree. All right, so let's go. That was a lot of recap. So listeners out there, we got sidetracked a little bit and kind of went off some tangents and
We
rode down
did.
some
We
roller
did.
coasters. But let's talk briefly because there's only 2 weeks left in most leagues to bid on players. You've got this week's batch and next week's batch.
Yep.
So that being said,
Yep.
we've kind of hinted at it. But Pruitt, tell us what to do going down the stretch with our last couple bucks in our wallet. What are we doing with these? Do we need to save something or do we go all in? So tell us who's chopped and what we should bid on them.
All right, so like you said, it's only 2 bid cycles left for the season. This week, most chopped players, Josh Allen was number 1, believe it or not, after a
I believe
up
it.
and down, another
Yeah.
down performance after a super up performance last week. Stephon Diggs, kind of a dud this week. Egbuka is nowhere to be found. Lamar Jackson has been not good after returning from injury. He was on the top 10 chop list this week. Kyron Williams, kind of an oddball because LA dominated that game, but a lot of passing plays, right? Really not much action for Kyron Williams. Nico Collins, kind of a down week. And then the last 2 I'll mention in the top 10 were Devon Achane and DeAndre Swift. So all those guys, many of those guys, could be available in your league this week. We talked earlier about Josh Allen and the value that he can create for your team. He's a little bit scary maybe some weeks, but with some good matchups coming up, Josh Allen is still a guy I would
Yeah, he does.
go after. Yeah, you're down to the last 2 bid cycles. We were looking in our league. Chiz and I were talking in the Patreon, our Shrewdness Listener League. The top tipped guy has 172, I think it was. And then everybody else is under like 50. So it's time for a fire sale. You should be thrilled because guys that were going for 200 will now go for like 40 or 30.
A whole bunch of
Right?
nothing.
And you
Yeah,
should
seriously. I
be
mean, $50, you can outbid everybody.
Yeah.
Great.
So you should be down to the point now where you only need 1 or 2 guys. Maybe you don't need anybody. Maybe you can use your fab to block somebody else from getting that running back that they need or something, and just kind of, go over and above to keep the low man on the totem pole, the low man on the totem pole. But if you do need a guy, if you do need someone like a Kyron Williams or an A-Chain, if you're lucky enough to be bidding on A-Chain this week, he's still going to have a really high floor in most weeks.
Especially
DeAndre
when you
Swift,
get him for $50.
yeah,
Right?
yeah, guys like DeAndre Swift, I would probably shy away from.
Yeah, you don't want.
But
Frankly, don't bid on anybody that's not a top 8 player. And you can
Right.
make your own list of whatever you think that is. But if they aren't in that, you don't need that. And there's no
Right.
reason. Again, you can kind of do a little. If they have like $12 left and you know they're hurting, and they got a bye week, there's injures. All right, you can kind of do a spite one, but don't hurt your team, and definitely don't spend money that you can get a good player with. So
right,
you should be buying all talent, all diamonds right now.
you do have
That's right.
one. After this week, you got 1 bid cycle left. There, you can do a little bit of gaming among the remaining teams. And am I spending my last 50 this week, or am I gonna hold 45 of it and see if I can
Yep.
luck out next week with one more team going out? So there's a little bit of gamesmanship that goes on these last couple weeks, and it's more about the teams that are left and who they need and
Yep.
who's got the most fab, all that kind of stuff. So it's really interesting. I think this is one of the most fun bid cycles throughout the whole season. I think week 1 is a really interesting one,
Agree.
and then these last two, I think, are
The
the
paranoia buy of $1,000.
Yeah. Right?
It's for their
Paranoia week.
Those are
so by
that's an idiot move,
far
obviously, but
the
still.
3 most interesting weeks to me as far as bidding in your guillotine leagues. So yeah, spend your money. You can't take it with you. You only get 2 chances at it to get
That's right.
that last guy you need. So get it done.
The other thing to think about on this last nugget for you, because there aren't a lot of fab dollars left. The other thing to think about is you can pick up a lot of like hole fillers.
Yeah.
If you're on that waiver wire right after the bid cycle processes. So the boneyard, as we call it,
Yep.
there's good players in the boneyard right now because it's a
Rosters
There's-
are short.
rosters are short.
Yep.
So you can pick somebody up. If you don't have any money, it doesn't mean you can't still maneuver. If you need somebody, you could probably find a guy. So think about that.
Yeah, you're in the final
As well.
6. There's gonna be some good stuff left. But all right, speaking of guys in the boneyard that can help you out, let's spin it over to Chisholm to give us some sleeper.
It's time for Shrewdness Sleeper. So we hit 2 out of 3 this week. We hit with Mooney, who got you 16 points, and we hit with Wilson, who Dex and Pruitt were talking about having 10 catches versus Jacksonville with 21 points, which brought our total for the year, if you stayed with us, to 31%, just slightly under what our goal is 33%. But hitting 31% of guys who have very, very low ownership is pretty good.
Yep.
And we feel good about that. So no more sleepers for the year. We are going to do another round, though, of Shrewdness Spuds. So last week in Spuds, we hit 2 of 3. We gave you Jamison Williams, who put up a big goose egg. Dex
Nailed it.
gave you that one. Kamara, Pruitt gave you, who gave you a 3.5. So hopefully you guys bench those guys. I gave you Ashton Genty, so hopefully you bid that for anytime touchdown because I'm now 10 of 12 on my Spuds scoring touchdowns,
Say that
So-
again slowly.
which is
10
amazing,
of
hit rate.
12.
10 of 12. That's a pretty good hit rate. And if I think, I don't know, I think it's around 80 some percent, if I'm correct.
Yeah.
83.
So-
Picking Spuds, you're just a Midas touch.
I am the Midas touch. So for the year, we are 33% on our spud rate. We've got 3 spuds to avoid this week. And these are guys that are owned by greater than 90% of leagues. And we're saying they're going to get below 13 points. So these are folks you want to avoid this week. Pruitt, why don't you start us out?
Yeah, so Dallas is playing Kansas City like we talked about earlier. They're on a short week. Javonte Williams has been pretty good this year for Dallas.
Yeah,
right?
really
He's
good.
Run the ball well. Dallas is scoring a lot of points. They're leaning on their run game a little bit. Dallas is, primarily a passing offense. But anyway, the Chiefs have shown time and time again this year that they can shut down a running back. So I think Javonte Williams is their next victim, and I don't see him, even if he does score, I still think he may not get you to 13 points because I just don't see him getting more than about 50 yards rushing, maybe 60, and then 1 or 2 catches.
Yeah.
So I think they're going to have to, I think Dallas is going to have to rely on bigger plays because I think Spags is going to bring it this week, keep the pressure high.
Yeah, I agree. Kansas City rush defense is really good. Dex,
All
what
right.
are you thinking?
So I'm going to Carolina and Rico Dowdle, who's been a very nice player for a lot of fantasy owners out there this season. Basically taking the ball away from Chuba Hubbard, and Rico Dowdle has had a lot of big weeks. But this week, they're going to be hosting the Los Angeles Rams in that very stout defense, which is number 1 in points allowed, only at 16 a game. So that tends to think you're not going to see a lot of touchdowns from Carolina. Again, watching Carolina is a reason to think there won't be a lot of touchdowns from Carolina too. But Rico Dowdle, I think, is going to have tough sledding against a very tough defense. And even though they're at home and the weather shouldn't be that bad in Carolina, I just think the Rams are going to shut him down because he's a key focus. You make Bryce Young throw over you, which they have not been able to do very well, which leads to them getting behind likely against the Rams. Takes Dowdle even out even more because they still have Chuba Hubbard in for when they're coming from behind and throwing the balls in the flat. So I think that's going to limit Rico Dowdle this week. So I see him as my spud. Chisholm, close us out.
I like it. I am going to go with DeAndre Swift. DeAndre Swift is going to Philly. I hate running against Philly's defense. It's really good. I think Swift, who is coming off of an epically bad week, is going to have another epically bad week. So if you've got him on your team like I do, I would suggest benching him this week in favor of almost anyone else besides Williams or Dowdle, because they are facing a really, really good Philly defense, and I don't think it's going to go well for DeAndre at Philly. So our spuds for this week: Javonte Williams versus Kansas City, Rico Dowdle versus the Rams, and DeAndre Swift at Philly. Don't start him unless you absolutely have to, and also bet on DeAndre Swift to score a touchdown. Okay, so should we talk about bets, folks?
Yes.
We have a huge weekend of betting, so we're going to give you two. That's right, not just one, but two. Okay, wait. Before we go to bets, let me tell you this real quick, guys. Let me tell you this real quick. If you're not following us on social media, you're missing out on our single game parlays. And those power parlays have been really good this year, and we just hit another one last night, 3 for 3 on our power parlays on Monday Night Football. You bought a yacht if you followed us. You need to check that out. We do those for any single island games, we call them. Anytime a game is being played and it's by itself without any other competing games, we bet a single game parlay.
And this
There's
week
6 of those.
It's Hawaii.
6 of those.
We got a lot of islands, baby. We got the whole
We got a lot of islands.
This is going to be great.
So we got 6 island games. So if you're not following us on social, follow us, because you're going to get 6 opportunities to make big money. If you bet them like we do, some people get on social media and they're like, oh, you only got 2 of 3. You're right. We only got 2 of 3. And technically it's a loss when you're parlaying 3. However, if you do like we do, you bet them as individual bets, and then you bet it as a parlay. And when you do that, you can come out ahead a little bit. So I would suggest you do that if you're going to follow us. But you could just go in for the parlay, because if you're doing that, you're doing all right for the season, because we've hit a lot of 3 for 3. So check out the socials. We'll post those usually at least an hour before the game. We try to get them up there as soon as we can, but about an hour before the game, we'll have them up there, and you can follow us. And then we have our standard game picks that we do every week. We usually pick 3 games. This week, though, because it is the season of giving, and we feel like giving, we're going to give you 6 picks this week, because you need to bet on the Thursday, Friday games, and then you need to bet on the Sunday games. So we're going to give you 2 rounds of bets this week, and extra fun for you, keep you entertained whenever your uncle is wanting to talk politics and you're really trying to check out and you want to pay more attention to the game.
Yeah, let's
you can
talk
say,
Rasheed
hey, you know
Rice
what?
instead, Uncle Dave.
I got some money riding on this game, Dave. Let's talk about that. So let's start out last week 2 for 3 again. So we gave you Cincy plus 7.5 versus New England. Cha-ching, we gave you Atlanta money line.
That's
that was
right.
super juicy. Versus New Orleans. Cha-ching from Mr. Pruitt. And then we gave you Minnesota plus 6.5. Maybe that didn't hit, but that's all right. Dexter was on a hot streak, and now he just had to come down to earth. Now he's resetting. So for the season, we are 56%, which is in the money. So if you are following us on these, you're in the money for the season. And we're going to give you some more. So let's start with the Thursday, Friday games. Let's start with Mr. Dexter. What do you have as your Stone Cold Lead Pipe lock for Thursday?
All right. I am looking at a defensive struggle with Kansas City at Dallas on Thanksgiving. It's going to be giving of defensive flair. So I think we're going to see 2 better defenses. Kansas City's been good all season for the most part. In Dallas, like I said, they have 6 new starters on defense, and they look like it. And Quinnen Williams is coming and locked down that defensive line. It's harder to run. The passing game has not been really favorable either. It used to be an absolute sieve back in the secondary for Dallas. Now they got a couple linebackers back, a safety back, corners. So they're just a better unit. So I think we have 2 better defensive units. 52.5 points is a lot with 2 good defenses. Can it go over? It sure can, but I see the under in this one, under 52.5. Kansas City, Dallas for Thursday. Lock it up.
On a short week, too.
That's a good one. Call. On a short week, that's right. Tired legs likes unders. So let's turn to you, Mr. Peru. Speaking of the Thursday, Friday games, what do you have your eye on?
Yeah, so not going far from that game. I like Kansas City. I think they will come in, and I think they got a little bit of momentum now. I know Dallas just won a good overtime game, too. But I think Kansas City's got all the right pieces. Some things are starting to fall into place. I like them to go into Dallas and win. The thing is, the line right now is -3.5, but it's swinging toward -3. And that is a key number for those of you that are not super familiar with sports betting. 3 is, the difference between a push and that 3.5. The hook can totally hose you.
Between winning and losing. Between living and dying.
Those last second field goals will take your money. So if you can hold out, it looks like the trend is leaning toward a -3 line here soon. It's -3.5 right now. Not super stoked about that, given all the Chiefs' struggles in the red zone. But I think if it gets to -3, I'm going to hop all over that because I think they can start winning some close games like we've seen in the past. Last year they couldn't lose. This year they couldn't win. Now they finally got a close game win. And so things should kind of regress toward the mean there. So I look to them to start winning some more close games and eke their way into the playoffs. Lock it up.
I like it. The Dallas defense is still tough in that secondary, and so Mahomes could have a good time there. I like it.
Yep.
All right, so I'm going to give you another under. If you've paid attention to me in the past, I'm a big fan of divisional unders. There's a lot of familiarity there. And I'm also a big fan of cold, wet weather unders. And this fits both of those bills. Cincinnati, Baltimore. It is going to be Joe Burrow's first game back. So I think there's a little rust there for him. Going to be a little off maybe on his timing. We've seen Baltimore's offense has sputtered quite a bit. I think passing is going to be difficult, and you've got T. Higgins out for this game on the Cincinnati side. So I think points are going to be a little bit harder to come by. I do a little fear of the Derrick Henry factor. I like Derrick Henry in this matchup a lot against Cincinnati's defense, so he could run for a lot of yards. But I don't think it's going over that 52.5. So I like Cincy, Baltimore, under 52.5. Lock it up. So the 3 for our Thursday, Friday games are Cincy, Baltimore, under 52.5. Kansas City, Dallas, under 52.5. And while you're at it, book that Kansas City -3. Buy the points or find the book that has it at -3. And you're going to win all 3 of those. So those are your 3. Now let's turn to the Sunday slate. So we look at Sunday. You're recovering, you're having your leftover turkey sandwiches, and you still want to watch a little more NFL football before you got to go back into work. Before you get those Sunday scaries, why not win a little extra money? And we're going to give you 3 games to do that with. Let's start out with you, Mr. Pruitt. Who do you like in the Sunday slate?
Okay. Can't believe I'm saying it, but Tennessee at Jacksonville is showing some signs of life. Cam Ward played pretty well this week. And they've actually been close losses these last few weeks. So I like them actually to stay within 6.5 points, which is what the line is currently. I'm liking, hate to say it, but I'm liking Tennessee plus 6.5 against Jacksonville this week.
I like it. We talked about Tennessee showing that fight. Jacksonville being a little reckless with the ball. I think it's a good line. Tennessee plus 6.5. Dex, where are you looking?
All right, so I am sticking with the unders this weekend when we have some snowstorms going across the upper Midwest. So San Francisco traveling to Cleveland. I like the under 37.5 in that game. Cleveland with Shedeur Sanders, I think they're going to be fun to watch. I don't think they're going to be fun to watch score. I think there's not going to be too much scoring there. San Francisco has also had their own issues, and it's going to be hard to put up a lot of points on Cleveland's defense in what could potentially be a sloppy, snowy game. And frankly, you can't feel too confident with Brock Purdy throwing 3 interceptions last night. He just looks like he might be a little off. Now, that could change in a hurry, but the thing is, Christian McCaffrey hasn't been able to run the ball that well, so they're going to have to do a bunch of screen passes. They're going to have to extend the run that way. I just think it's going to be a slow, soupy game with Quinshon Judkins running a bunch of CMC, because this is the last week before the bye week for San Francisco. So they're probably going to try and just get everybody through it, grind it out, and get that win, and then go into the bye week. So San Francisco, Cleveland, under 37.5 in what should be a low-scoring affair.
Yep, Cleveland unders are always a good bet this time of year. We're going to go to another under. We're under heavy this week, but I like it a lot because, like Dexter said, of weather. This one is Buffalo, Pittsburgh, under 47.5. I like this for a couple reasons. One, it's going to be cold and wet. Two, Buffalo's offense has not looked terrific lately, as we talked about, and Mike Tomlin has a general knack for keeping games close like this. You don't see Pittsburgh getting blown out a lot, even though they don't have nearly the talent of Buffalo this year. I don't think they're going to let this get to be a blowout. I think they're going to keep it close. And I'll be honest, I don't think Pittsburgh is going to score a lot. So I think the way they're going to do that is on defense. I see this game somewhere around 21-17-ish. Probably a Buffalo win, 21-17. But I don't think you're going to get a ton of scoring out of either of them. And I love under 47.5. So lock up Buffalo, Pittsburgh under 47.5. San Francisco, Cleveland under 37.5. And take 6.5 points as Tennessee plays Jacksonville. We just gave you 6 winners. You're going to be able to go out and buy, who knows, 5, 6, 7, 8 turkeys after this.
You don't need another yacht, then get yourself something nice.
Yeah.
Right.
Donate it to charity, whatever you want to do.
Right.
Christmas
yeah,
is coming
absolutely.
Up. But we have 6
buy somebody
island
else a
games,
yacht.
So we got 6 island games coming up. So 3 Thursday, 1 Friday. Look for those. Sunday night, Monday night as well. So we have a bunch of island parlays out there as well. So come check those out again. Bet them individually if you want. That's fine. We're hitting at a good rate. We'll post it up on our shrewdnesspage.beam.ly. We'll have that out by end of the week. So we got a bunch of those up too.
Absolutely.
All right.
Terrific.
Anything else we need to hit, or let's just get right to the turkey and holidays and everything else?
Let's eat, folks. Let's eat.
Well, enjoy the family this weekend, boys. Enjoy the football. Enjoy our new yachts that we'll be able to put in the lake next summer and spring with all these bets hitting and parlays hitting and just raining gold coins upon us. Because unlike Bitcoin, which drops, our parlays always come up, baby. It's good.
That's right.
Let's do it. Have a great week. Keep your head about you this weekend. Make sure you set your lineups because, again, with these 3 games on Thursday, 1 on Friday, don't sleep through with the turkey and miss putting a starter in. Check the lineups an hour before the game time. Make sure there's not a late scratch on a warm-up. So be smart. Be through it. And most importantly, stay shrewd. Till next week.
Shrewd.
See ya.